This is a Guerilla Podcast Network production.
Welcome to the Late Night PotLuck Show. PotLuck Show. PotLuck Show. PotLuck Show.
Welcome to the Late Night PotLuck Show, episode 20. Hanging out here with the crew, Riel, Vito, and our special guests. Just want to remind you, look for us on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. Just do a search for Late Night PotLuck Show. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook with that same handle at Late Night PotLuck Show. So let's just get the night started. Let's kick it in. Let's start off with Riel. How you been, Riel?
Doing good, Dave. Been a long day.
Very long day.
Yeah, today we have a farmer's market, I guess, for you. A lot of festivals out there. Today I was at Milford Festival, Oyster Festival. So a lot of people.
That's where you were today?
Yeah, I was there today. So.
How was it?
It was good. A lot of people though. So oysters, long lines, but it was good, worth it. A lot of other vendors out there.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's going on, Vito?
I'm back. What's going on, y'all? I'm back here with Dave and Real and a very special guest that Dave will introduce soon. But I'm good. Long day, but still going. It ain't called Night Hour Studios for nothing, right?
That's right. That's right. How'd you do at the farmer's market today?
I did good. I can't say I sold out because I had one row left, but I did pretty good.
Should have just stuffed it in your mouth real quick.
As soon as I got home, guess what I made? With a bit of coffee, it was a wrap.
You know what would have been good with that? Longanisa.
Man, well, let them know the story what I made for you today. The little bacon and pancakes.
Oh yeah,
I might put that on the menu.
All right.
Put the longanisa, do something good. Manny, where you at? We need
I know,
that.
Man. That's why he's not here, because he's freaking stuffed himself with longanisa.
I saw that, man.
He sends us a message and then disappears.
See what happens when you don't show up? We make fun of you, right?
Hey, I know, right? Manny, where you at?
All right, man. Like Vito said, man, we were at the farmer's market at the Stratfield. Please come by Saturday, August 24th. We're giving out school supplies along with backpacks. It's gonna be a fun day, activities for the kids at the kids corner, and go ahead and do some farmers market shopping and get bacon, egg, and cheese or the girl with a smile. Today I had pancake bites, but they were cooked with bacon bite, like nice crispy bacon in them.
Bacon. Oh.
So you're eating pancakes, but with a nice crispy crunch. Oh, that was good. So hopefully that does make it to the menu. I did pretty good today. A lot of people came out, supported.
All right.
Sold some hot sauce. That was dope. I thought it was gonna rain, but it got nice and hot, nice and sunny. Turned out to be a beautiful day.
So I heard that our co-host Chef Raquel was also there.
Yeah, she shout out to Raquel. She was out there. She did a demo. She did kind of like an Asian rice with
Rice,
so what she teaches people what to do with what they sell at the farmers market.
Okay.
You know, whatever's in season. So she picked up some cabbage, some Japanese eggplant, some tomatoes, and she just whipped it up. You know, because a lot of people come over to the farmers market and they see stuff they don't normally buy. You know, they don't know what to do with it. They get intimidated, maybe, I don't know. So she tries to break that wall down. You know, and she does a good job. And really simple dish, and it came out really good.
Something people can do at home, like just follow what you did.
Right. And shout out to Xavier, who came out. He brought after the demo, they were giving out samples, and he comes over with the hot sauce, and sure enough, everybody, he was a hero. And everybody who wasn't interested was interested in the hot sauce, just squirting it in there. So yeah. All right.
The hot sauce is there. It's all good.
Yeah. No, the dish was good already, but yeah, it does. Typically, over at my job, people who are like doing diets, tasteless food, they come to me, yo, let me get some hot sauce, start pouring it in there. So, like I said, it's just me, me, Vito, and Riel. So it's and our special guest. I see some food on the table.
I can smell it.
Can't wait to dig in.
Before we do that, we have to ask, do the intro, our guest.
So let me introduce you to our guest tonight. He's in the game for so many years. He's doing his thing at the Acoustic Cafe. His name is Paul Cordero of the Bflat Sammiches.
What's good, everybody?
How you doing?
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you for coming, man. I
Thanks
appreciate
for coming.
it.
Yeah, man.
Not everybody can just come, at the middle of the night to record a podcast, but here, I appreciate you here.
Well, we're a late night kitchen. We just try to do some sandwiches in a live venue. It's a late night setting. It's often live music. You know what I mean? So we just try to do something that's handheld. Easy to eat. And just keep it moving.
Something that pairs well with beer.
Yeah, with beer, with drinks, with having a good time. I think the only thing I'm really trying to do is make really good food portable and edible and cheap and available for everybody.
But delicious.
But absolutely delicious. You gotta pour
You gotta
yourself
pour it
into
in.
everything.
Absolutely. So talk about it. What you bringing?
So I brought a bunch of stuff. I know that you guys usually ask for our most popular. We're gonna just start rolling through all this right now.
Is it all the same or different?
No, they're all different. I think I brought 2 Rubens just in case. So anything, my menu's kind of based on stuff that we grew up eating. So like if I could do cheeseburgers there, we'd be doing a patty melt, but I don't. I got a very small and unique kitchen. But so we just brought this classic. This is something I've been working on. I've been trying to find a way to bring it back. And this is a tuna melt. So what we got here is we got some albacore tuna, we got some vine ripe tomatoes, and we have some dill Havarti, which is the real kick. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to change things, just use things that work. They're already readily available.
That's more good.
You know what I mean? And then we put that on a vegan roll that we get out along Rhode
vegan
Island.
roll.
Yeah. So all the bread that we use is vegan because. I'm in Black Rock. It's a fairly, progressive community. People have different styles of eating, and people are like, "Oh, you should really do a vegan sandwich." And I was like, and then I started thinking about how do we do the vegan sandwich? How do I satisfy people at the same time, maintain my product, and not change my whole system just so I can accommodate for people? So I was very, very lucky that one of the first breads that we tested turned out to be vegan, and it's in a soy-free, nut-free facility. So it was just like, for us, it was a home run immediately. And I think the bread's really important, especially if you're in the sandwich game, or the sandwich game, as I call it. And but so we just try to do the best product that we can. So this is the first one that we got here. So that's dill Havarti, vine ripe tomatoes. We got a bunch of stuff. You can check it out on our Facebook page. I think there's a menu on anything I've ever had.
I brought utensils and plates just in case, but I didn't bring a knife.
Yeah, I think that's the only one I didn't cut. I was rushing out of there. I was trying to close up shop.
There's a bag out there.
We'll figure it out.
Oh, I brought this one for you, Dave. I remember the last time you came in, I was showing you a mustard I was working on. This is one of my favorite sandwiches from my childhood. So when I was a kid, we didn't have a lot of money, so we had a lot of fried bologna sandwiches. So what I put on the sandwich is called the Liar because it's full of hot bologna. And if you can dig that, then you understand, how we are really just trying to murder shit straightforward.
Yep.
It's like no tricks, there's no puffery, there's no, you know what I mean? It's just straightforward. And I just, we just hope that the idea translates, you know what I mean? The value translates, you know what I mean? And what all I'm really trying to do is most of my career I spent in fine dining. And there's a difference between people who love food, and there are, a difference between people who get to eat this food every day because of their station in life. You know what I mean? And I think that's a much different perspective. So that's the Liar, and because we used,
The Liar.
Dave's
Angry
incredible angry sauce, we call it the Angry Liar. So if you guys come down and you want the fried bologna sandwich, and you want it with the extra fire mustard that we make with your awesome hot sauce, and you just ask for the Angry Liar, and we keep it moving.
That's awesome.
So it's also available on the Cuban. So if you want the Angry Cuban, you just ask, and you'll get the same mustard. I'm just gonna start opening these up and letting you guys see what we're working with right here. this is something that I'm working on now for the fall. I've been getting a lot of questions. They're like, oh, Paulie, why don't you do Italian sub? And I was like, to really do it the right way, I'd have to work it out and play with it. So this is just one of the first sets of incarnations.
Do you have a fancy name for that as well?
No, we were going to call it the Paisano just because, we always I want things to be easily relatable. Like, the second you hear the name, you understand what we're going for and the framework. So this is some mortadella, some salami, and some honey ham this time because I was out of gabagool, but that's a different conversation for another day. They get some provolone, they get some nice herb mayonnaise on it, and then we press it up nice and nice. So that's that one. It's currently not on the menu, but it's like I said, we test everything, we taste everything, we just try to make sure that we zero in on something that we think.
Right. So this is cool because basically what you brought here is basically your test sandwiches for the upcoming change of season.
Right.
And we get to taste this. That's awesome.
So you guys get to be in on this. So this is I do a Reuben. We do a Brussels sprout. We make our own sauces. Right now I'm using Boar's Head because right now they can produce a better product than I can,
right.
and it's easier for me to buy it from them.
Right.
I mean, obviously, if I can scale and got bigger and had everything I needed, I would be able to do everything in house. So until then, the hustle is real. And we trying to move units. We trying to make people happy. We trying to fill a space that has never been successful at the Acoustic. And so I'm real thankful. Shouts to Acoustic, everybody, Black Rock, everybody here. Again, thanks for having me. I'm just real happy that I get to do what I love to do for a living. And that's a real cool thing, and that's only because people come to see me and people pay me to eat my food, and like at the end of the day you got to be real humble for two different reasons. The first being like you're only as good as your last dish, and the second part of this is your best work's gonna end up in the toilet, homie.
Yes, sir.
Don't get it fucked up. Don't get it confused. Like you're literally fueling a person's life for a very limited period of time, and that's all we can really do as cooks and people who provide food is like we're actually giving you your energy for this time. And if people don't look at it like that, you're not going to have the love for it like that. You're not really respecting life like that, or your brothers or sisters like that. Okay. And so again, this is a very much an industry where if you're not really down to give yours,
so if you're not sharpening your knife consistently.
So that's the other thing. Stay sharp. Be a nerd. I'm on YouTube all the time. I'm trying to see what all these young cooks are about. I'm trying to, and it's not for a fad thing. It's just I like to see. I've had the culinary acumen for a long time. So my progression is I'm looking at everything different and how can I do that and how would I do that and all these things. Yeah. But it's just a lot of work. And 99.95% of us ain't never gonna get no shine because we're in the back.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like in Bruce Almighty, I work in back. I see no smiles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Dig, like you're not leaving me a tip. Yeah. I'm in the, you know what I mean, on the firing line. Yeah. And so it's like it's a I'm glad I got to come and talk because it's a very arduous industry, and I think it requires a lot of respect, not only for yourself, but for the guests that you come in. I think that everybody can eat at home. So if you win the food hustle game, be real thankful. Mom Dukes can cook. Wifey can cook. All these people can cook. You know what I mean? If they're coming out and they're doing something with you, just try to be as humble as possible.
Absolutely.
Which I think, brings us to a bunch of different ego shit that's going on.
We're going to touch on all that. But right now, V, come on. Pick a sandwich, V.
Yeah, come through. Be savage too, yo.
Oh, I am savage.
You know what I'm saying? I'm from the old school. I want to hear exactly what people think and exactly why.
All right, I'll start with the tuna.
Yeah, I got it right here, so I'm gonna start with the tuna. Paul, I'd like to have yourself a cold one once in a while.
Actually, I don't drink it all.
You don't drink it all. You don't mind if I...
No, please imbibe. I want everybody to have their good time. Live your life. I ain't judging nobody. I just know what is wildly unsuccessful for me. And chefs on the whole.
So, a couple of episodes ago, or was it the last episode? See, with chow.
Cow.
So our co-host here, Real, help me out here, 'cause,
Oh, yeah.
Real brought it. Real brought in some. So our last guest was from. They do a Philippine barbecue. My friend here is from the Philippines, and he introduced me to
Nice.
a
The
Philippine
crafty
beer.
cap on cap action.
Yeah.
You saw it first here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, open a beer with another beer.
And I loved
we
it
do
so
it,
much
Steve.
that I went ahead and I searched it up. I found it
And you hunted it down.
and I hunted it
You
down.
know me.
It's just me and you, Real.
You know me, man.
That's what's up. Yeah, so this is the Reuben.
Get in
The
here.
only other thing that I should bring up is like we make the Brussels sprout. And so it's just like sauerkraut, except we do it with shaved Brussels sprouts.
Boss man.
And you know, you might taste a little of your handiwork and a couple other things just because I really dig your sauce, and that's what kind of brought our
I
whole thing
appreciate it.
together. It's like anybody can create heat. Anybody.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I get a 4-year-old kid, put enough peppers in a jar with some vinegar, and you're gonna get something hot.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing has always been, it's like you can't ever be a one-trick pony. You know what I mean? Running flat on a little bit of, you know what I mean? I just feel like people are a lot of people are surfing waves, and if you're doing something, I feel like you should do it to the extent of the word, of the definition of it. You know what I mean? So if we want to create something great like what you got. It was like a lot of flavor. It was a lot of depth, and it had a finish that lasts for like a month. And I was like, if you can't find a way to incorporate this into giving depth and character and texture to your food, at least how it finishes.
I love that. It's like
you know what I
poetry
mean?
to my ears, right?
So
'Cause-
look, I just, you know what I mean? Hard work, everything takes hard work, and the better the product is, and I think, especially for a lot of us who are young into doing it for ourselves with our own nickel on the line,
Right.
I think it's important that, you know what I mean, you gotta bolster
and that's
that.
something that I talk about at the podcast. I mean, at the farmers market, the customers, they're trying the hot sauce, and they're trying the next one, the hottest one, and they're getting nervous, but they're like, wait a minute, that's very flavorful. It's like, yeah, because it's not all about the heat.
Right.
It's you don't want to destroy your already delicious plate with some crappy ass hot sauce. You want to either advance it or just whatever.
And you don't want to have to drink it to get there either.
Yeah, no, but I appreciate what you do. I came to visit my boy here, Paul, and he goes, try this mustard. And I was like, okay, it tasted good. It was regular mustard, but after I tasted it, he tells me I used a good amount of the Scotch bonnet hot sauce, which has already a delay. So like when you're tasting the hot sauce, it tastes good and it has like a couple of seconds delay. So I tasted just regular mustard, and all of a sudden that cake came in, man. It's like, oh shit, this is really good mustard. And he goes, yeah, that was your Scotch bonnet.
Wow.
And I'll break it down. It's very simple. You want to buy the biggest bottle he sells, and then do like equal parts, just a straight up like French's style all yellow mustard. You know what I mean? That's literally the recipe for the angry sauce, the angry mustard at the shop. This way, all transparency do. But yeah, and let's see what was my last one here. Brought a bunch of stuff. I didn't know how hungry everybody was.
Everybody's hungry. Being hungry.
Yeah, we got more food. Don't worry. You can jump in we got more stuff. Oh, okay. So, and if you guys haven't figured it all out, this is really like an ode to the bodega. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the hood, man. Like you had $3 to eat. Where was you getting that big ham and cheese? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like that was my delivery vehicle to really democratize food. Like even though every single thing that we do on our sandwiches are well thought out and tasted and tested, that's just our delivery vehicle.
Remember that
to make
bodega?
everything that I've learned in 20-something years in food, and I could put it on 2 pieces of bread. Keep it so low key, so low brow. People like Paulie, why you sold out?
Which one's the bologna sandwich?
Let's see. I don't know. They might have got it on you.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh, that's probably what you got earlier. No?
No, that was the tuna.
Yeah.
I'll take
So this
whatever.
is the Paisan.
It's probably not good.
Pardon my fingers.
Remember that bodega down the street from Harding? Yo, $1.50. $1.50 ham and cheese, lettuce and tomato. Man, that was the whole back in the day though.
Every morning.
Right. So I mean, so like the whole thing, everybody's like, oh, why are you OG Chef P and why are you organic Chef Paul? Like, I don't get that. And I'm like, obviously you want to eat the best food you can, but it's so much easier than that. This is like, your shit shouldn't be forced. You dig? Like what you do and how you feed yourself should be just as much of the part of the culture as the music you listen to and the clothes you wear. And because it's a representation of something, it's something you have control of in your life that you get to actually ingest. You know what I'm saying? And that actually propels you to do your thing. You know what I mean?
Yo, this is really good.
Yeah, so that's it.
So
super simple. It's just some mortadella. It's and this one is honey ham. Again, we're testing. I'm also.
Sauce? Is like a cheese sauce or what?
So obviously, you know, everything's built on the grilled cheese. That's the other great thing about what we do. Minus the vegan. The vegan sandwich has nothing but vegetables, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So no, this is just an herb mayo, and then it's mixing with the melted American cheese food. Don't get it twisted. It's cheese food. It ain't cheese. You know what I'm saying? Just being honest. Even though the original American cheese is technically a cheddar. And if you guys ever get your hands on the extra sharp American, do that.
Yo, where's Manny? We could have started an argument here. You know,
that's real. Like, I'm just saying, no, it's not real. Look, if it says cheese food on the packaging, you know what I mean? It's not cheese. It's cheese food. It's cheese food. No disrespect. Like, I love nacho cheese. I love canned cheese. You know, I think there's a place for everything without people having to be bougie and think it's beneath them or that they're on some elitist fondue. And I'm like, check it out. It's cheese sauce, homie. Like, you can spin it and give it a French name. But the techniques to get to the same places are the same exact. So, you know, whether you decide that it's going to be like a Velveeta style or, you know, you're doing a goat cheese fondue for some high-end wedding, you know, dates and whatever else, it's literally the same process. So again, it's just about how much love you put into things and where you want to start at.
Well, Paul, I want you to talk about like the Inception Genesis. Where did it all start for you?
Wow. Fortunately for me, my grandmother always did really well in her life.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And like a lot of us, like Big Mama was a lot to do for everybody, right? And my grandmother, she worked for GE. She had a good job. She had a good husband. They was doing good. So she would take me to these places and like literally tell me to my face that I would never be able to eat here. Really? So like I ate at the Rainbow Room when I was like 11. You know, you're overlooking Rockefeller Center. And it's literally one of the greatest restaurants in the world. And you're eating like medium rare deer for the first time, venison steaks for the first time. And there's a guy in the bathroom. It's like, you know, it was just such a decadent experience for me. And to think that was something crazy. And that always resonated with me. Like, oh, you'll never eat here if it wasn't for me. And it's like, yo, that's true. You're absolutely right. And then as time got on and I really got into food, she started telling me, you know, like, and I don't know whether it was snide or she knew it was going to end up starting a fire inside of me. But she was like, well, the only way you're going to eat this food is if you learn how to make it because you're not going to be able to afford it with your grades. That's my Japanese grandmother. Shout to June. Love you, but she don't speak to me in 30 years. But that's whatever. Nah, we going to air out. We don't care. That's what it is. So I got to go there, and then I went to Tavern on the Green, and I got to catch, like, you know, like, restaurants, and I'm talking, like, you know, 87, 88, like, way before I could have even thought about fine dining, and I was exposed to a lot of these things. And I was like, dig, you know, like, I would really love to eat that food, and then I started thinking, like, well, maybe I don't got to go work at Le Cirque, you know, or any of these places. To at least get like get some acclimation in the kitchen and be able to at least whoop something up for myself, where I could be like, all right, you know, and then you know compound that with I was getting like $100, like I had $100 budget for like the groceries I wanted in my house. You know what I mean? My father bought food, whatever, but I had $100 that was just for me. So that was like my play money because I was like, well, let's see what I can make. And it started out with a lot of really, really bad pasta dishes. Like really, really, really bad pasta dishes. And then at this point in time, like I was really like I was hooked on it. I was like, all right, well, a friend of mine was like, hey, you know, there's this spot over here. They're looking for a dishwasher, but it's $5 an hour. And at the time, like my GoFundMe was like a shovel and a rake and pray to God that like my neighbors like loved the job I did, and then they would just like give me some money because that's how it was. And so obviously I wanted to get a job that was like super stable and like I could get this money every week and like I could just, you know, start, you know, buying clothes, which, you know, every little kid want to do. You want to look your best. So anyways, I ended up getting this job at a place called Maxfield's. Shout out to Maxfield's. Same guy that just sold Jeffrey's in Milford, because Jeffrey's in Milford just changed hands. But those guys own Maxfield's, and this is maybe 1990. And so I got a job there for $5 an hour. I wasn't even old enough to
Now,
work.
where was Maxfield's?
Maxfield's was on Bridgeport Avenue in Milford.
Okay.
All
All right, and I was living in Stratford in the co-op. That's kind of where I grew up. So it was like a quick, easy drive for my pops to just bring me in and go. So literally, like, I was like, you know, this is awesome. I finally get to work in the kitchen, and, you know, I get to make some money. And I walk in the door, and like 3 people had called out, and the chef's like, you're my new dishwasher, and it's like just looking at me crazy. And I'm just like, yeah, I was like, I never worked here. Nobody trained me nothing. I was like, I'm just going to scrub the dishes and put them in the machine and then close the door and hit the button, right? And he's like, yeah, that's it. I was like, bet, I got that. And so like about 15 minutes later, he's like, you know, using every curse word in 3 languages. And he comes over and he's like, do you know how to P&D shrimp? And I was like, what the fuck this motherfucker's talking about? Do I know how to P&D? P&D? It's a what? And I was like, yo, I was like, absolutely don't know what the heck you're talking about. But if you show me how to do it one time, I'll do every single one that way. And he looked at me and like he cocked his head like it couldn't have been a more right answer. And like and that's the other thing, like, you know, if you don't know how to do something, don't be afraid to ask. Like, there's too much pride going on in the world for people to be like purposely ignorant. Yeah. We have Google. Go look that stuff up. There's a fucking YouTube video. Look at it.
Years ago, somebody taught me this. I did this I taught this to my kids. It's like, when I ask you a question, the answer should never be I don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Like, the answer should be I don't know, but I will learn, or I don't know, but please teach me. You know, it should never just be like I don't know.
I don't know at the moment, but I will learn.
Right.
I will find it out.
Right.
Well, I think that comes from a complacency. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know is like, that's acceptable if it has nothing to do with you. But if it's in your universe, you should kind of have an idea of what's going on.
Right.
But you know, but I think, to be honest, you should say you don't know, because then you can. It's easier for you to get help.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, like if we don't know why you're not doing it right, you know what I mean? Or you really needed to open your mouth and say, I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
Nobody showed me.
All right, don't pretend that you know. You know,
That's my thing. I think that adds another hurdle in the evolution of people.
That's like the whole fake it till you make it. It's very it's
bullshit.
It's a very
that's your
fine
fucking
line.
Dream. Do the work.
Yeah.
Submerge yourself in it. You know what I mean? Could be like I mean, not for nothing, I literally still watch at least 5 or 6 hours of YouTube a week of different plate ups and different ideas. And here's my thing. Anytime you're doing art, somebody else is doing your art. No matter what you've done, somebody's done it, or somebody's gonna do it. And it's just you're creating to a bit of energy. You know what I mean? Where you're creating food, and so if your food touches somebody else and inspires them to do something, that's awesome, because that's how you got here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's just, you know, respect the process, pay your fucking dues, keep your head down, especially if you out here fucking fresh out of Lincoln Tech thinking you Gordon Ramsay. Like, just pump the fucking brakes for a minute. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why Hector, don't feel fucking personal about it, but there's a reason why Hector runs the fucking kitchen. It's not because he's from another country. It's because he knows this fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm not gonna get, you know, crazy on that, but like, respect the dudes that you work with. Respect the guys that are above you because they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? This is a full contact sport, and everybody out here with like little girl gloves on, and not, let me rephrase that, not little girl gloves, but
we got some
little wildly, no disrespect. I call myself, I'm not trying to be rude, but like the little kid gloves is off. Everybody's an adult, man. Like if you come to work in the kitchen, people expect your effort. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And like I don't really care about your Instagram pictures while we're on the line, and there's a lot of that. Like if you're doing this for the wrong reasons, you can go home. Because you taking up space and breathing our oxygen when we really trying to be pure and create shit. You know what I mean? And that's like, so my whole thing is like, if you're gonna come out here and do this, know that it just because you watched 20 minutes of Food Network last night, don't mean that like you built for this life. It's a lot of dedication, and more so than anything else, it's high pressure, high stress. At the intersection of your artwork and business is called craft. And so when you got to knock out your high art 600-700 times a night, and you got to be on top of 14-15 people, you know, multiple locations, like, you know, this is a full contact thing, you know, and a lot of greatness comes from just putting your head down and getting your repetitions in, just like bodybuilders. You know what I mean? They only get big after 400, 500 reps.
So at what point were you pushing out, like, you know, your own creative ideas or you know, plating your own?
So the one thing about being an individual in the kitchen, and so I wasn't classically trained. I did not go to culinary school. I went to self-taught is a kind of crazy way to say that you put yourself in a position to learn those things.
Okay.
Right.
So I didn't have a classical training, but I also got beat to death on the line everywhere. So
Did you have a mentor or somebody?
So I mean, so here's the other thing too. With humility, man, you gotta show a lot of love and respect to a lot of people.
Okay.
But in Connecticut, there's like, I'd say that there's like 10, 15 guys who are really on it, who are really like smashing the game on a regular basis. You know, and a lot of those dudes you guys know. But dudes that I respect, like I love Tyler. I think Tyler does an incredible job. I think he's got a lot of stuff going on, and he's creating a lot of really cool stuff. I'm talking about Tyler from Millwrights. I'm sure you guys know who I'm saying. Okay. And there's some people in New Haven that are doing some really cool things. And but like, you know, Connecticut, we have an advantage because we have Fairfield County. So we're gonna have celebrity chef restaurants, right. And we have the casino. So we're gonna have celebrity chef restaurants. So like, you're always gonna have, you know, the culture is so popular now that like if you have a lot of love somewhere, that they'll pay you to put your name on food, whether you really have much to do with it or not. You know what I mean? And I don't knock the hustle. Get yours. You know what I mean? You didn't you know, kill yourself in the kitchen for years and years and years and not win. So don't, you know what I mean? So you know, the delicate balance, you know, as I get older and now that I have my own business, is like, yo, I love art and I appreciate that there's a lot of soul to this, but we got bills to pay. Light bill always come in, whether your customer's coming or not. You know what I mean? So I just, you know, there's a lot of people. Here's the thing: if you're not inspired by everything, you know what I mean? It's not always a chef who inspires me from my food. Right. Is really what I'm trying to say. And for me, it's like, it's almost like a buckshot, you know. And I'll never know what I'm gonna get or what's gonna trigger something in me, to feel like maybe we should try this or maybe we should try that. But I've been very fortunate where, I've taken a lot of jobs where I had a lot of freedom, to do a lot of really cool things. You know, I haven't been in charge of a lot of, you know, like heavyweight, high volume stuff. But stuff like a lot of the stuff that I did in New Haven, I was really proud of. We launched Bone Swine Barbecue, and that quickly devolved. Like it changed a bunch right in the very beginning. I feel like there was a couple mistakes that we made out the gate that kind of cost us what we were trying to do.
Avenue?
It was on State Street,
Oh,
yep,
yeah.
And we were there, like, we beat Bears, we beat everybody into New Haven.
I tried that.
And yeah, so I was there, I smoked every piece of meat there until I left. And, you know, and I was running Oak Haven across the street at the same time. which was an awesome experience. Like, you know, I got nothing but love for those dudes. I got nothing but love for everybody on State Street. You know, I even went and checked out the new place that Bull and Swine became. And that was cool because the waitress I had there was like, "Oh, you were my chef when I was at Oak Haven," and I was like, you know, it's funny how the whole world come around.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you know, I worked I worked at Cast Iron Chop House for Tilio. I was there for like 6 months. Good dude, high volume, high stress kitchen, but there's a lot on the line there. Like, people don't understand. Like, you got like $100,000 of meat in the fridge. You gotta make sure that you're moving units.
I feel like a TV portrays, you know, being a chef like this glamorous thing, and they don't really. I mean, sometimes you'll catch it, but you know, it's a really cutthroat industry. It's high pressure. You have to. It's not for everybody, you know. But talk about that.
So there's a lot to it. First of all, like, I don't ever think, you know, don't listen to nobody. You know, do what comes organically to you. Like, get back to that point that I never made. You know, organic shit is like I don't want to be. You should never be forcing anything. It should be very natural for you. Okay. Obviously, you want to eat the best foods you can, highest quality food you can. Organic makes that a little more available for people because, you know, they have a very high standard. But I think that should translate to yourself and being wildly true to yourself. And if you want to make fucking foie gras, you know, poutine, then fucking do your thing, boo. Who gives a fuck? You know, and if it flies, it flies. Cool, you know. You know, just know that if you're doing it in a professional setting under somebody else's nickel, your artwork ain't really your artwork. Let's keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna make the shit that they want you to make. You know, I can give you 1,000, you know, examples of, you know, horrible shit that just sells, and just there's people who have like Michelin star dreams and gotta pump out fucking chicken nuggets and bullshit. Like, this is for y'all. Like, I'm with y'all. Like, I've been in those shoes, but just don't write all your shit down. Learn every fucking recipe you ever got from every chef. In the end, when he's a fucking piece of shit and treats you like shit, you walk with the playbook. That's 100 information I will give you. Is they will pay you a fucking shitty check. They will walk over your dead body if something were to happen to you because the machine got to keep going. So make sure you get everything, all the techniques you can. Pay attention to the OGs. Write everything down. So for a guy who's got 20 plus years in the game, I have every recipe for every pickup, for every sauce, for every side, and every restaurant I have ever worked in my entire career.
Oh, is that why? Because I know you worked at some really nice place.
So I was very fortunate. So not only was it, in the beginning, it was like, I got to get some shit in my book here, homie. Like, I got to know how to do some stuff. And then, like, it became, like, wildly obvious that I was like, if we just keep doing this every day, and every time I see something new, I'm going to have all these tools in my box. So when it's time for me to do my thing and express myself and whatever culinary avenue I've got all these tools in the box. Because I did the creme brulee. I learned how to do the creme brulee from these dudes. And they was like, nah, don't do it like this, do it like this, because this way it's going to work. You know what I mean? So there's a difference between dealing with guys who've been, you know, journeyman line cooks, who've been knocking it out every day. No fucking glory, none of that. They there to feed their family. You know what I mean? And they're real craftsmen. You know, and some of the greatest cooks that I know who can handle the most pressure, the most volume, none of you motherfuckers will ever hear about. You know why? Because he works in back. He sees no smiles.
Sees no smiles.
You don't get no tips. You know? But so I think there's a lot to it. But, you know, like I said, as much as I'm a cynic, I think this is a beautiful outlet. And this is like, not to be like, but this is a very... like I said, it's a full contact sport, but it's a very masculine way to be creative without a lot of the judgment from anybody. Like it's like you think of other mediums, who else can be artistic and not be judged or have some kind of idea about that man's personal business because of what he does. Like, I'm not an interior designer, right? But I'm a chef. I have the same level of craft and art. You know what I mean? I just feel like it's one of those things that it's still cool to do your thing and be fancy with it. You know what I mean? And not have that kind of judgment. And I think that that's bullshit. But I just, you know what I mean? It should be embraced for everybody. Know that everybody can do the thing. I don't care what your thing is. You can do it.
I think Netflix has done a good job, showing the art, the craft, the art. I mean, because food is an art.
Yeah, there's respect for the people that make the food. They were able to display that in all the new shows that they have.
You know, I just think there's too many fucking restaurants in the world to be watching the same 20 on TV every day. Real shit. Shout to everybody, you know what I mean? But whatever. You motherfuckers are winning awards with fucking free labor. So let's just keep it 100.
Yeah.
I wasn't even gonna get into that, but there's a lot of that. You know, and there's a lot of people. There's a lot of great food institutions that win major awards and they get crazy free labor. You know why these kids come out of CIA and they go to fucking New York City and work at X, Y, and Z? I ain't even gonna put nobody on blast, but everybody knows who I'm talking about. Think about where you can get an internship out of ICE or the formerly FCI, you know what I'm saying? French Culinary Institute turned into International Culinary, you know what I mean? ICE education and CIA and Johnson & Wales. These kids are dying to go give you 5 weeks for no paper. While you charging motherfuckers $375 for a fucking 8-course, and I mean an 8-bite meal in a cathedral for food. And I got a lot of respect for what you do, high art. But like, I think that there should be like, if we're gonna call it best restaurant, let's make it a real restaurant where you actually have to make your numbers to pay your staff.
Okay.
Let's talk about the real shit in the game where everybody's all jammed up because owners they feel like they don't really gotta pay nobody and it's on their schedule and their time. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to make money doing this. You gotta do it for a long time. You gotta get real good and you gotta be able to like everything else, you gotta play the room.
So I'm a believer in I think, just correct me if I'm wrong, I'm a believer in, like, if V is a photographer, if I want to be a photographer, maybe I could convince him to teach me his artwork if I work for free.
Absolutely, and that's the whole incentive. Now take that one step further. Let's call him the greatest motherfucking photographer, or one of the 10 greatest motherfuckers who ever walked the planet, who ever worked the f-stop. Let's just call him that motherfucker, all right?
Okay,
right?
That.
And everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we live in a very shallow world where I have a fucking piece of paper from homeboy that say, yeah, that motherfucker changed my film rolls and uploaded my data and carried my fucking bag. That don't mean you got any fucking talent. It just means I was good for him for what he needed. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not taking anything away from paying your motherfucking dues. I'm not taking anything away from them. Okay. I just think that there's a certain entitlement with these restaurants. And then afterwards, how many people are surfing that wave? You know how many chefs I know that they want to tell me they used to work at Gramercy Park? I'm like, bet. High five, homie. Oh, you don't cook anymore? It's a cool story, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like a suck a dick from the past. Like, I'm not like I've never been a clipboard chef. I don't think I got the heart to do it. Okay? The industry has never shown me that we have enough staff. Real shit. Anybody tell you we got enough staff in the kitchen fucking lied to you. Or that business is going out of business. You know? Because it's a very delicate balance, man. Like, to take care of your people who are murdering it every day in 120 fucking degrees, 75% humidity. You know what I'm saying? So maybe the little bit of, you know, pepper on your food wasn't a big fucking deal. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, I get it. Everybody's wildly entitled, you know what I mean, in a restaurant, and you should be, because you're paying your hard-earned money and you can eat at home. But, like, you know, it's very high stress.
So let me ask you, is this what drove you into just doing your own thing?
So for me, you know, there's so many guys that influence me. There's so many guys that really just they kicked open doors and made like you thought, like, you had these ideas that certain ideas are crazy, and then you get guys like Wiley Dufresne who are just fucking absolute madmen, who have been doing this crazy modern food and different twists of it for 20 fucking years. You know what I'm saying? And now, because it's in favor, everybody's like, oh, gastropub. It's not a fucking gastropub. All right? You fucking sell the same cheeseburger everybody else, every other pub does. You know what I mean? And that shit bothers me too. Like, if you guys are really doing the fucking thing and you're really swinging the bat, God bless you. But if you're like all the rest of these soulless shills out here that are just fucking at Restaurant Depot buying some fucking frozen bullshit, throwing it in the fryer, and then giving you some sweet chili sauce from a different fucking distributor, like, don't start, you know what I mean? Don't break your arm patting yourself on the back. You owe people more, especially if you claim to love it.
In other words, come to the farmer's market and pick up your shit fresh.
Absolutely,
and make it.
So here's the other thing too, right? Like, I've been a New England guy my whole career, most of my career. I've had wonderful experiences with the farmer's market. Like, you know, I used to work in Westport, so I spent a lot of time out there. Shout to Lori, she's awesome. But they have a cool farmer's market. But the great thing, I think that before we get into this like existential hippie shit, right? I think you should respect the fact that if Dr. Jones or Farmer Jones from down the street sells fucking good tomatoes, I'm gonna fuck with him. I'm gonna fuck with him because he's my neighbor, and his kids might go to school with my kids, and he a part of my community. So why on earth? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even gotta know my neighbor. Just the fact that he's in proximity to me, we create. Then that's the thing. Like, everybody needs to stop shitting on everybody. Just jump on the boat, man. Row the fucking boat. Maybe one day you don't need an extra paddle on your boat, and I might be it. So I don't understand why people be foul or bad. You know what I mean? But you should just do it on the general idea that, you know, it's not a corporation that's, you know, ducking and dodging taxes and making fucking trillions of dollars on you. Right. You know what I mean? It's the guy up the street. You know, and that's like, you know, back in the day when there was an actual community, there was a hardware store in the neighborhood, and there was a baker in the neighborhood, and the fucking neighborhood cuisine was based on who the fuck was around. You know, we got Luigi's up in the north. That's where I get my cannoli cake. No Del Prep beef. I swear to God. Love y'all. This is the only place I could get one now because Luigi's is gone. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make that clear. Just making a reference here. I don't want to get beat up in the streets. That was like a big heated debate for many years in the city. But like, you know, you always want to, for me, I've always kept a small ball. I always think that you should, like, here's some other stuff, like, perfect example. When Subway first started, you know where they got their meat from?
Where's that?
They got it from the place that burned on Capitol. What's the import? The importer.
They're no longer there, right?
They moved. Guys, they did have a fire, but they are open. They're in Fairfield somewhere.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't know the exact location, and I can't remember their name.
They were across the street from the uniform place, right?
From the uniform spot. Sorrento's. Sorry, Sorrento's importing. Yeah, they and the extra sharp provolone and some other shit. So, but yeah. So when Subway first started, he used to get all his meat from them, and I don't know, like, if that's common knowledge or whatever, but. Like, like, you know, great things can happen, but you guys got to do the right things out here.
It's one of those frustrating, you know, topics, right? So it's like, you know, us brown people, we're quick to go and buy ourselves $200. You know, well, not me, because I'm not one of those, but
he woke his shit.
But you know, you got motherfuckers, you know, buying Jordans and shit, but they would ask you, how much is that hot sauce? Yo, $9. $9. Frank, hot sauce is $3. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, dude, you're right. Like, so I'm saying, like, I love the support. You know, you help your neighbor. You know, we're technically neighbors at the fucking farmers market, so we love to support each other. I
don't see how people don't see that a rising tide raises all ships. Like, if we create, you know, if you constantly creating a community of people that care and that are being decent human beings and propelling, and what we're actually doing is trying to change the way people eat. You know, how they get their nourishment and what we can add to that. You know, so, you know, the idea of community and not helping people is crazy. So big shout to me. If you guys ever need anything, hit me up on the gram. I answer questions like recipes, pickups. I don't care if you're a cook, you're at home. I don't care if you're a line cook, you're getting nailed by your fucking chef and you need somebody to talk to instead of crying in the walk-in and bringing the mop. You know what I mean? I'm here. You catch me, like I said, Instagram, OG Chef P. And these guys all know how to get in touch with me. So if you need anything at all, please feel free. If it's nothing crazy, like I'm not coming to cater your mama wedding, but if you need, like, you know, you need some ideas and maybe you have some problems, logistical, and whether you're because I do a lot of that. I spend a lot of time with small business owners, there's people, meal preppers. I promise that I wouldn't call nobody out by their name, but I'm always trying to help people. Like I got some guys that do some mobile concession vending. They have a pretty large operation. So when they want new stuff or new ideas or new pickups or, hey, Paulie, how do we transport this? How do we make, HACCP certified people happy? And how do we make sure that, what is health department going to want there? And what does that mean? And, so any of that stuff, if you guys are ever in a jam or don't understand something or don't know who to talk to, feel free to hit me up, as I will obviously either point you in the right direction, try to send you some links that'll clear up the information. I'm happy to be a food nerd, but it only works. So to be really smart in anything, it only works if you're helping other people. Because if you're only doing that to be like a self-righteous, I know more than you, then you're a fucking piece of shit. You should get hit by a bus. I fucking said it. I don't care. Like the only advantage to having all knowledge is your ability to share it with other people. Okay. And if you're not doing your part to make the world a better place, then fuck you, get hit by a bus. Straight business.
So what's next for you though? Like what's going on?
So the cool thing about what I got going on right now is I have a couple media projects that I'm in the works with and that I'm real excited about. A little different than what you guys do here, which is awesome. But I'm going to be doing a little bit of traveling, and it's kind of like it's an idea that the kitchens in America are one of your last vestiges where you don't have to walk in there with a college degree and walk out there a fucking superstar. And you can't say that about anything else. Construction. When's the last time you saw a carpenter get an award? You dig what I'm saying? Like, so if this is the road you're going, then like, it's a great way to go from where you're from, wherever you're from. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to see that there's other things out there that's very attainable, and the more stuff you put in your bag, the more you'll be able to eat at these restaurants instead of wash dishes there. You know what I mean? And that's real shit. And as a community, we just got to do better. Got to love people, got to share more, got to be a better, got to be a better human being, man.
We talked about this project you're working on. So is there anybody you want to shout out? Anybody who has any... I don't know if you need a camera worker or what is it what are the missing links?
So what's going on with this is it's everything's a budget, right? And the one thing that I learned from a lot of guys is that if you can't bankroll it, shit ain't yours. And I don't care if you fucking Jay-Z and Searchlight Publishing or Johnny Vazano from Vazzi's and his fucking empire. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. So my thing is I would rather bide my time, grind, stack, and not have other people in on it. Because the only reason I say that, it's not that I don't believe in anybody. I haven't met the right people that have as much energy, focus, and willingness to get shit done as I'm going to need to do this while I'm doing the other 7 projects, Other than that, I'm working on a really cool co-working space, and that's all I can really say about that right now. Just know that it's very much in my vein.
Can I ask one question? When you say co-working space, are you referring to a kitchen?
I am, in fact, referring to a multi-use culinary HACCP certified NSF safe space. An incubator. So if there's any big money that want to jump in on that, feel free to slide in the DMs, But so more so, like, the longer in the tooth I get, the more I realize that helping other people with a very similar dream as mine is only going to be the only fulfilling thing. Because once you climb your mountain, what are you doing after that? And like, I don't want to feel like wildly unfulfilled. I'd rather help you climb up your fucking mountain, and you know what I mean? Like, and it's just about perpetuating not only our species, our people. Just like, you can get it down to the smallest fucking denominator, you know what I mean? Like, we create energy on the planet. Start making good energy, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Because that totally affects everything in the universe. So we're doing that, and then I have another little project that I'm working on right now. I'm looking for a location. I'm trying to do a nice little old school New York style pasta house. but it's a little different. It's like, so the idea with this place, and I want to name it after my son who passed away many years ago. I love him very much. That's little Paulie. So I want to call the place Paul Michael's. What we're going to do is we're going to have just handmade pasta in-house. It's either going to get made on the overnight. It depends on, the volume and what my business model really is going to end up being. But it's probably going to be that we make pasta in the morning while we're making sauce. And when you come to sit down, you get today's pasta, you get today's sauce. You can mix it, match it however you want. And we're really trying to get that dialed in so I can give you your pasta, a salad, bread, and dessert all for one price. Because I think that if we do it on scale, I'd be able to deliver a much better product for the people. And I feel like, that's what's not really happening here. Nobody's trying to democratize food here. Either they trying to give you shit for your couple dollars, which you're going to pay for in the long run with the doctor, you dig? Or they going to try to scrape you. And I think that there's a happy medium between there. And that's really kind of what everything I'm trying to do right now, coming from the stuffy ass world of country clubs and fine dining and celebrity fucking chefs who were really on it, and then working for celebrity chefs who was just kind of on the sign, So I think that it's important, So the idea there is it's like, you bring your family, you bring your kids. Just one price.
And we want to be the first. We want to record the next podcast at your restaurant when you open it.
So look, you guys are more than welcome. We could totally set up, if you ever wanted to come down, obviously with the, love and nod from the family, but if you guys ever want to do a locational thing, clearly we have the equipment, we have cameras. Obviously you guys have better cameras, but and don't let me step outside my box. Will Vega, don't kill me. I'm just trying to forge relationships. So again, it's it's about the community, and so there's that. And then I think that in the end, like that co-working space will be more of like a not only a multi-use thing, but I also have high hopes for like finding a way to fund a way for people who need job retraining or to get their NSF, to get these things.
I'll tell you this much: I'm for someone who always looking for a kitchen. Right, I got a kitchen, but I would love to see a kitchen that has dry space, storage space, a walk-in maybe.
Safe, secure, clean.
Yeah,
absolutely. And so, when I started pitching this idea with my partners, they was like, well, how's this going to work, Paulie? And I said, we have a porter, homie. We have a porter that keeps the place clean all day long. Oh, well, why would they use you? Because they can get their deliveries delivered to our kitchen when they're not there. Because I can have my porter have your delivery guy bring it into your dry storage space and your cage in the walk-in. And your freezer that's in your walk-in, that's in your dry space area. You know what I mean? So like, it's an incredible amount of thought. It's obviously a huge risk. So anybody doing the mobile thing, the cater thing, if you're looking for space, reach out, definitely. Anything else I could think of? Oh, and the Acoustic Cafe turns 20 years today. I want to take another second to thank them. I bothered Willie every day for 6 months for that kitchen. And he's been nothing but awesome. The whole Acoustic family, everybody in Black Rock, I super appreciate you. Everybody that follows anything in food, wants anything better for guys who gotta cook it. All my cocineros, all my kids, Sebastian, who's moved into college today. So there's a kick in the head. Jada, who's currently mad at me, but I love her to death. Olivia, and she's my baby. She's awesome. Who's not mad at me right now. And then, of course, the baby Fabian. Big shout to Fabian Guillermo.
Mini you.
Yeah, so he's a beefy little kid. I love him a lot. And shout to everybody who's got problems and they're still hustling and they're still making it happen.
Absolutely. So, how can they follow you one more time? Yeah,
so OG Chef P on Instagram, Paul Cordero on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook, Bflat, The Acoustic. Also OG Organic Chef Paul I have another page. Consulting, you just need a favor, you just want somebody to talk to, you need some help trying to put something together. If you're a real hustler, don't waste my fucking time. I'm gonna tell you that shit right now. I don't mind helping motherfuckers out, but don't waste my motherfucking time. Meaning, like, if you ask me for some game and I give you some game and I catch you lacking, I'm gonna be tight about it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no reason to be fucking broke unless you're
Waste
dead or in
of
jail.
knowledge.
For real, don't ask me for it if you ain't gonna use it. You know. But that being said, know that like I'm Big Brother, and if you need some shit, holler at me. Shout to all the cooks that ever took my shit. Shout to all the dishwashers that get straight shit on, even though y'all the backbone of this motherfucking whole industry. Let's see what else. Oh, and I got a joke for you guys. It's the worst ever. My least favorite thing in the whole fucking world. Here we go. You ready?
Bring it.
If you come in when I'm firing food for fucking table 24 and you tell me that you forgot to put in a fucking plate of food on table 24, don't blame the fucking kitchen. That's my joke. People fucking son, yo, keep it real. No, but that's really what happens. Like you just like, you know, there's a huge gap between front of house and back of house because it's a lack of communication, it's a lack of respect. And if you're gonna talk to your waitresses and your runners like they're fucking whores and shit like that, then expect them to shit all over you. It's a mutual respect thing. I've always been like huge on that. Like nobody should feel like a dick coming to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's like a real stigma because, you know, we're pirates. We're pirates, but we're also men. You also have to be fathers. You have to be brothers. You have to be
Absolutely.
fucking people because they're people.
Yeah, I've heard. I'm not gonna.
It's
drop
really
names,
bad.
but-
It's really bad, and it happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always told my staff, like, look, you can cook your ass off. You could be Marco fucking Pierre White. If you don't know how to treat people that are in this very small space filled with fucking knives, weapons, fucking blow torches, ovens, hot pans, like if you can't, you know, it's just about as, if not more important than calling behind with a sharp knife, calling behind with a hot pan. Like, just fucking respect people, man. You don't know how shitty their life is, that this is what they have to do for a living. If it's not their fucking choice. Just remember that. Not everybody loves this shit. Some people are just out here to pay the bills and take care of their kids and make it through their own fucking struggle, you know? But that's why I say, you know what I mean? Stay positive, do your thing, do shit that makes you happy, vehemently fucking happy, rock it till the fucking wheels fall off, because the one thing that's definitely going to happen is that the wheels are definitely going to come off. And when you're old and gray, you're never going to be like, gee, I wish I would have fucking made that guy an extra $10. It's not going to be on your list of fucking regrets. I promise. So chase your dreams, be about it. You know what I mean? If there's anything that we can do, you know where to fucking find us. Thank you guys so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate having you, having me down here. And now I'm going to get some fucking sleep because I got a day off for the first time and I don't even know how long.
We appreciate you.
We're going to wrap this up.
So thank you guys so much.
I'm digging after we wrap up. V, what do you got going on? Any shout outs? Any upcoming events?
No shout outs today. I'm tired as hell. That was definitely a good interview. I'm over there shaking my head like, yeah. Appreciate you coming down.
Hey, look, man,
appreciate your guests over there keeping me company.
That's, you know, we try to have fun. We try to do the
You know what I liked about the interview? You spoke the truth, and you didn't hide behind any walls.
Well, here, this is what I will tell you. Like, all anxiety now that it's over. Like, I was like, yo, I really hope Dave don't hit me with that fuckery, yo, because you know I'll call motherfuckers out by their name. And I was like, you know what? I was like, Paulie, just behave. You're a fucking child of the light. Don't fucking fall into the gutter and be the foul-mouthed line cook you'll always be. You know what I mean? So thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. You know, anytime you guys want to have me back, we want to talk food. You want to talk hustle. You want to talk about inspiration. Big shout to Gary V, by the way.
Gary V.
He's my motherfucker. You want shit you ain't never had, you got to do shit you never did.
That's it. Anything on the backpack? Just
Nah, I mean, we got plenty of donations. I want to thank everybody in the community who donated. I'm getting the bags in. If you want to try to help me pack those things, let me know. Dave's going camping, so he can't help me. But
volunteers are always necessary.
Yeah, and I got 100 bags to fill. So I'm almost halfway through. So, I mean, I appreciate everybody, anybody listening who did
thank
donate.
you for coming by the farmer's market and dropping the supplies off.
Definitely.
How can they follow you, V?
You can follow me on Instagram @_chef_V. That'll be it for now.
All right. Real, what's going on with you? Shout outs, upcoming events, anything?
Nothing much happening, but follow me on Instagram at LoveTheKickSnacks.
Same here. Like V said, I would not be at Farmer's Market on the 24th. All right, spending some time with the family before the school starts, going out camping. So it'll be fun. But go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Facebook at Dave's Angry Sauce. Check out the website, davesangry.sauce.com.
And go order some shit.
Yeah, order some shit.
Don't like my fucking photo. Buy my shit, homie. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like
that guy that keeps liking every fucking picture.
Yo, real shit. Like, I appreciate that. Look, and that shit is important. This is what I'm gonna say about everybody. Like, if you want to support somebody, like, if you can afford to fucking support your friends, you should do it. Because them motherfuckers is just chasing their shit. They just trying to get a grasp on something that's uniquely theirs. And I guarantee you nobody will appreciate it more than a fucking local business guy who's trying to get his thing off. So go to his page, share his pictures, share his food, share his experience. Same thing, Chef V, crushing it with the fucking breakfast sandwiches. I see you over there on the gram. And so just, be about those things. If you can't help your friends, you can always repost. You can, and even more so, like, it don't got to be on fucking Facebook. It don't got to be on Instagram. But if somebody asks you, where do I get the fucking goods? Holler at your boy, man. I'm still from the world where word of mouth is like the greatest fucking thing in the world. It's reputation. And it's guarded by everybody who cares about theirs. So.
Absolutely. So stay tuned. September. Jeez, I should have been ready.
That's for next episode?
Yeah. So follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Late Night PotLuck Show. And once again, find us on Spotify, iTunes, Soundcloud, YouTube. Just do a search of the Late Night PotLuck Show and it will pop up. Our next episode 21, we have Mariela Perez Russo. Now, this is pretty interesting. She's a nutritionist and a sweet baker. So this is gonna be an interesting interview because she's a doctor or certified nutritionist, whatever. But she does amazing wedding cakes or birthday cakes. So we'll talk about that, man. Can't wait to have her on. Once again, thank you for joining us. Love you guys. Peace.
Thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Be sure to join us next time.
This is a Guerilla Podcast Network production.